Jump in. Welcome to the Coaching Chat Zoom. We are excited we have a ton of great speakers today who are going to share their takeaways from our fall conference, Juice Plus Live, that we had this past weekend. And I love hearing everyone can hear the same thing, but our takeaways can be totally different depending on where we are. And I think that's the value of hearing from so many of you guys. So I can't wait to hear just what spoke to you. I'm just going to kind of hit on a couple things myself, and then we're going to jump in with Precious being our first speaker. One thing, we just did a leadership call, had some conversations about the new compensation plan, you guys, giving us new paths to hit those goals and those positions. It's going to take more than a 3-minute blip from me. So we're going to probably in the next few weeks take some time out in our coaching chat and just devote the whole coaching chat to the new compensation plan. So know that that is coming. We're not forgetting about it today. I also want to tell you guys, we as a team are brewing up a social media plan that we're going to do together and really work together as a team to really hit social media and really help maximize each of our posts. And so know that that is coming down the pike. We're going to start that in November. So those of you, I am not anywhere near qualified to say that I know anything about social media. So I'm going to rely heavily. I'm looking at Precious. I'm going to rely on you and Riley, you, and so many of you guys who are good at it. So be prepared for a phone call. So know that is coming. As a team, you're going to be supported, and we're going to really maximize our presence together as a team from in November and December. Okay, so that's that. No, that's coming down the pike. And then the other thing I really wanted to say is this month in October, we did a online event called Defining the Plus in Juice Plus with Katie, Allison, Brenda, Caitlin. Yes, Katie, Brenda, Allison, and Caitlin, and myself, and got some really good feedback because it was a Q&A. So we're going to turn around and redo that on November 1st, you guys. And it's going to be a hybrid between focus on the product and the business. It's going to be a soft sell, but it's going to be there. And it's going to be done through questions and answers, which I think is a little less intrusive and I think a little more welcoming. So put November the 1st on your calendar. Let's load up that call and take a benefit. It'll be 30 minutes. And I think it's going to be one that we can turn around and use again. And then I also want to hear from you guys, those of you who would be willing. We really want to keep featuring new partners, different strengths. So let me know if you're willing. Send me or Brenda a box or a text message saying I'm willing to be part of that monthly team online event because we want to mix it up, change it up. New always brings momentum. So, and we'll keep thinking of new ideas of how we can switch it up from month to month. So want to hear from you in that way. All right, November 1st, please put it on your calendar. November and December, we're going to do a social media blitz, and we will do a compensation coaching chat down the road to really cover all of that. All right, I'm shutting up. Precious, you take it away, and behind her will be Karen, and then if you guys just go from that point on based on the lineup.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. I attended JP Live in person with two of my partners, Yvette and Vanessa. And so this was Vanessa's first time. She was a first-time attendee, and she's also a resident of St. Louis, so she was home. Do you guys remember how you felt the very first time you attended a conference? So Vanessa's eyes was just bucked the entire time. She was so excited about everything that she could see, everything that she was able to learn. But the one thing that just took her from 0 to 60 was hearing about the shakes. I hate that comment people say like like a kid in a candy store. She was like a vegan in the produce section of a farmer's market. She was so pumped when they started talking about the shakes. And the reason she shared with me, Vanessa is a marathon runner. Both her and her husband runs actively. And her friends that's in that community, she wasn't able to share the complete shakes with them because it never had enough protein. Now, I didn't know this, that runners, they prefer at least 20 grams of protein. So they would just they were so pumped about the capsules, but the shakes didn't really pique their interest because it just wasn't enough. So when that video started playing about the complete, she was ready to get out of her seat and start working out. Like she was just standing there like this the whole time, like, oh my God, oh my God. So she was so excited about being able to take this information back to that community of friends. And immediately she's like, do you think they're going to give us samples? Are we going to be able to taste it? she was ready to purchase the performance right then and there. So I was so happy for her that she was able to grab something immediately and be able to take it and discuss it, with her community of runners. So that's what was so exciting about that for Vanessa. And then much later on, Beverly did share with us that she had tasted the shakes, that she had tasted it with water, tasted it with almond milk, and even did like a pudding type thing with it. And she talked about how good it was. So we just can't wait to be able to do that. Now, she was a little bummed about the fact that, we can't give it to customers until December 15th, but she's excited about being able to have some for herself so she can personally explain to her community about how good it is and how it made her feel. And then it also comes with the great things that we know from the complete, like the great source of fiber, the muscle recovery, and then the energy. And of course, if you are an athlete, you need that because they just work their muscles so much harder than, the average person. But me not being a runner makes me want to try it anyway, because I'm like, well, maybe it would inspire me to do more. Okay, so then moving on to Yvette. Yvette was inspired to take a fine tooth comb on herself. She heard from a lot of different people that made her started asking herself questions. She said, a statement that she said is that you cannot be committed to your dreams and your comfort zone. The questions that she started to ask herself was simply why. Why is she still at a standstill? Is it because she's afraid of hearing no? Is it because she decided to watch TV instead of make that phone call? Is it because she's just scared? And so what she wants to do is she wants to go and kind of start over on herself. She wants to be able to go to the hub and be able to train herself in a way that she would train a new partner. One thing I talked to her about is she struggles with having confidence with the material. And a lot of it is just second guessing herself because she already knows it, but having that confidence of being able to, one, listen, right? Because they talked about that a lot, listen to our customers, and then be able to give them what it is that they need, not just us blabbing because we're so, excited about it. So she's ready to dive in doing the social media challenge and also just, going all through the hub. And then for myself, I took notes for Yvette and Vanessa, but I couldn't even write anything down for me to be able to talk about it because I feel like I'm still on the high right now. I feel like it was like out of body experience. And I may get a little emotional when I start talking to y'all about it because I've never been at a conference like this. For me to be able to look up on that stage and see somebody that looked like me, to be able to say, I know I can do that. You guys understand what it means to feel like you're in a group, to feel like you're accepted. And for me to watch, I know Beverly personally. So for me to be able to know the struggles that she went through and she never gave up, And you know, you guys heard that a bunch of times, like, don't quit, don't give up. She actually told me to my face, she said, Precious, it took me 7 years to get here. Do not let it take you that long. Like, there's no reason for you to be struggling, because guess what? We got the tools. We already know what we need to do. We're just not doing it. And so for me to stand around all different cultures, right, and see everybody lose their mind when they see these people of color walk across the stage. For Beverly to be the first African-American female to be NMD, and then Priscilla to be the first female African, right? And then to see other QNMDs and NMDs of color, to whether they were from, you know, where they were from Mexico or Puerto Rico or, you know, whatever, just to see all of that. And then people who were non-people of color to just be like, yes, finally, you know, everybody celebrating and being so happy. I was struggling with my decision to go, because initially I was going for 2 reasons. Just because I needed to be there, number one. But number two, my son, he was playing football because he's in a traveling league. So my whole family had decided to make this as a family vacation or whatever, but his game got canceled. So I was like, well, maybe I don't go. But something kept pushing me. Something kept making me want to go. And I know now the reason is that I needed to see it in person. I needed to see those people of color walk across the stage, represent everybody, right? Men, women, white, black, whatever, represent everybody, and me be able to see it and believe it and know that I could do it. So right now, I still feel like I'm just floaty. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on a high. And so I'm just so ready to just like do things that I have never, ever done before, because obviously what I was doing was working a little bit, but it didn't, you know, shake things up. I want to be a whole nother person. I want to take a whole nother approach, and I'm ready to be an NMD. We're like now, now. And so being there with my team, you know, seeing everybody get promoted, seeing people from Indy that, you know, that came, you know, that made SSC and SC, I just like, come on, let's do it. You know, let's go. No more excuses. No more, you know, saying this is why I can't do this and this is why I can't do that. I've already like planned my day for the rest of the week. I'm just ready to do it all. So let's hit the ground running. All of y'all, let's hit the ground running. And by the time we go to the next conference, we done already made those positions and accomplished those dreams that we wanted. And so I'll keep going. So I'm gonna stop.
Wow. You follow that, Precious. That was awesome. I took really good notes, but one thing that stuck out to me was the Juice Plus Hub. It's our new, it was presented by Communications Manager Ashley McMillan and National Marketing Director Brian Rose. It's a new feature on My Juice Plus that houses great information and tools. It's kind of like Team Extreme Dropmark.com, but not really. Ours is way more extensive in the training, but it's great for new people because it's right there at your fingertips. So I'm going to try and share my screen here. Screen. Up. Share. Okay, where is my, okay, here we go. Can everybody see that? Okay, so how you get to the hub, you go onto your dashboard and sign in as your with your partner credentials, your name, then go up here to this resources button and click on that. Then the drop menu comes down to Juice Plus Hub. Click on that. And at the top of the page, there's a banner that scrolls to the left. And it's really cool. It houses the getting started checklist, the ditch the pitch enrollment, which by the way is $99, and it's just taken out of your paycheck for anybody that's interested in taking it. It also has the product resources and fact sheets, a section on Healthy Starts for Families program, including social media and videos, and information on Perform, which is our new plant powdered nutritional shake for performance and athletes, which was already discussed. So below this scrolling banner is 6 tiles. or our 6 tiles. Again, this one is for the getting started checklist. And what's really cool about that is it's geared to the position that you're in. So when you go to your next position, all you have to do is click, I've made P+, and it'll give you the QSC checklist. The second tile is for training, and this is really cool. It'll help you grow you and your team, and it has courses that you can take. There's 12 of them, from building your team, customer care, healthy starts, research, compensation, you name it, all these courses that you can enroll in. And what's really neat is at the end of each course, you can take a test or a quiz. And you can stop the quiz at any time and come back to it. It saves where you were in your session. And I thought that was really cool. So let me go back here. And then if you want to get a transcript of your courses, you just go to this, I don't know what that 3 horizontal lines is called, but you go there, I guess it's maybe the menu, and it'll give you, I think people are blocking it, but it gives you the transcript. It gives you, there's a calendar for the dates that your courses are scheduled as well. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, and then the next tile is, of course, another way to connect with Ditch the Pitch. Then there's a connection that directly links you to the Freedom Revolution. And then the 6th one is for Juice Plus Insights. And okay, and then there's eventually going to be a Tower Garden tile, but that's not until 2022. Then below all of that is the frequently asked questions and way to get support. You can click on that and it gives you support at juiceplus.com. And eventually all countries are going to have the hub, but for right now, only the US, Mexico, and Canada can access it. I had a blast scrolling through this. Then the bottom 2 items are links to Juice Plus and US Partner Insight Facebook pages. Just kind of neat. So it's such a neat little tool for our new people, so it doesn't overwhelm them with too much information at once. And it's, in concise little boxes. And I think it's going to be great to show them how to navigate all things Juice Plus. And that is it. So Allison, you're next. And I stopped my screen sharing here.
Okay. Oh my gosh, the hub sounds amazing. I was kind of in and out on some of the day, and I kept thinking, where is that hub? But that was great. I love NMD speeches. I mean, who doesn't? But Victoria Van Doozy, the cute young, she said she was the youngest in the US right now to make NMD, but she was talking about how you can get stuck in the middle. Like when you're new, you're super excited and you hit that first and second promotion. And then you find yourself in the middle where you don't have that new excitement and momentum, but you're also not at the goal where you want to be. And one thing that just stood out to me, like I stopped in my tracks and got a pen out to write this, was she said she learned that the enemy of her dreams isn't going to take her down in some big dramatic way. He's going to start attacking her thoughts. And so she talked about a canceled customer, a partner who lets you know that they're not interested in moving forward, a decreased paycheck. So it's just like little things. And wow, if all that hit on one day, you might want to throw in the towel. But she just said, eventually that started to break her down. And so she said that courage doesn't always roar, but sometimes courage is that little quiet voice at the end of the day that says, okay, I'm going to try again tomorrow. And I just thought that was so powerful, because we do always see NMDs as like so far from who we are, and then you just see they have the same struggles. Karen and Caitlin filled me in on some of their nuggets too, but so let's see, Brenda touched on this, but Prizel Suzanne, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but she did not know anyone in the business, and she made NMD in a year based off of a social media post of a rep in the Netherlands. And so that just kind of goes to show you, if you get the right person at the right time, they're going to soar. And then Megan O'Brien chose Courage Over Comfort, and she shared about doing the ropes course and how that ropes course represented the business. So each rope that she got to kind of represents the next stage of the business. So just keep your eye on the next rope. And then Debbie Leenom, I don't think I'm saying their names right, but she said success is measured in different ways. And so to reframe your success, we might base success on a paycheck when in reality, you know, look at the text we just got from someone whose life has been transformed, or we're bringing on new partners. So we're not seeing the pay right now, but the business is growing and it's going to come later. And then she talked about resetting your goals, growing personally, and disciplining your disappointment, and how serving others is the most fulfilling thing. And then she talked about how the joy of the Lord is her strength. And then one lady, it took her 18 years. That's encouraging. And she said, you know, life happened, and she kind of explained what was going on. But she said, even during that period, just being consistent with her business, it paid off. And then another person said she was stuck until she started calling people. So I thought, you know what, when we're having a moment of feeling stuck, just find someone and pick up the phone and call. So those were a few of my takeaways, but I'm excited about the speeches coming out. I haven't seen them on YouTube or anything yet, but I just think they're so powerful to share with people. I mean, it doesn't even need a commentary. It's just like send it and say, I saw this and thought of you, because they are powerful. So that's it for me.
Riley, you're up next.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Hey. Okay. I missed the little coaching chat, like what we were supposed to talk about, but as far as takeaways, I surely have some. I didn't get to pop on to a lot of Juice Plus Live, but my favorites are definitely the NMD speeches, just like Allison was just saying. And something I noticed in all of them was that everyone on that stage that made National Marketing Director, they were all dreamers at some point in their journey, whether it was at the beginning or the middle, somewhere in there, they realized the dream and they went for it. And I just want, as far as taking away from that and taking that to our businesses and our people, that is just so powerful to help people realize the dream and then what that can do for them, and to hang on to that. And Victoria Van Duzy said, my favorite quote that she said was, don't put a period where there's meant to be a comma. That was my favorite part, because I definitely relate to that. I get bogged down with the voices and kind of just dread that the idea of, oh, like period, but it's not, it's a comma, and that goes hand in hand with the dream and not letting the dream go. So that's super powerful for me. And I can only imagine if we're able to hold on to that and envision that dream and paint that dream for our partners around us, and where our businesses can go if we really hang on to that. Oh, and I'm sorry, one more thing. Emily Otten, I don't know if she said it in her speech this time, but she talks a lot about having an extraordinary life, and that we're meant to have an extraordinary life and be extraordinary. And again, that goes hand in hand with dream, just allowing yourself to envision the idea of an extraordinary life and realize that that's possible if you just go for it, and that we're destined for that. And if we don't settle, I just thought that was really awesome. And it's going against mainstream or average, mentality. So it's really special to be reminded of. And yeah, that's definitely something that I'm going to hang on to. And I hope you guys do too. That's about it.
I love it.
Okay, well, I too enjoyed the NNBs. It was great. We all have a lot of similar takeaways. I enjoyed Debbie Lynam. She was a Division I swimmer, And she had a 20-year journey. And that's something that I appreciated from the NNBs that I saw. It was a journey. It's wonderful when everybody can make it there so fast, but so many of us have been on this journey for a while. And so that was really encouraging to me, whether Debbie Lynam had a 20-year journey, but it started in college when she always had a dream of being an Olympic athlete and she got sick and she missed out on the trials and that devastated her. And so I too enjoyed those, like Allison, those three. She gave 3 points. Success is measured in different ways because she didn't let that stop her in life. She got depressed, but she kept going. And it's okay to reset your goals. I believe she realized that that was okay to do. She had to reset her goals and she came to terms with that. And to grow personally, I love that. Discipline your disappointments. The other person that I really enjoyed who had that 10-year journey was Megan O'Brien. And one of the things I got from her was her personal growth. I related to that. And she, again, chose that statement I loved: choose courage over confidence. Keep showing up. And we all do this every week. We keep showing up. Something's going to click and we can share that with somebody else. And transformation is a choice. And I love that. That was really good. So one other thing I too enjoyed, Emily Otten, NMT, she said that she was desperately nutritionally, she was desperate to be nutritionally fit, and Juice Plus helped her with that. But she also brought up, show up no matter what doubts or distractions we have. And I really appreciate it. That goes back to the personal growth. And keep moving forward and find something to say yes to. There's a lot of things that we could say yes to, but find something if we're going to make that growth. And also too, she said, take messy action. She talked a lot about being, I think it was her, maybe it wasn't her, but there was somebody that talked about being awkward or something like that. And I really, really appreciated that. But if we keep showing up like they did, they made it to NMD, we can too. And sometimes we have to work through it and make that personal, choose that personal growth. And I really, really enjoyed learning from these NMDs and their journey. And I hope to soak that in and also share that with the rest of the team too, and learn from you guys too.
Okay, I think it's my turn now. I will be talking about Elise Mitchell, and she hit home with me on everything. Think about where we have just come from, all of you. Her topic was getting comfortable with complexity. Change is happening all around us. Everyone and everything is going through changes. She talked about being in a VUCA world, V-U-C-A, vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. The world is changing and it's everywhere. So change has potential, opportunity, but what's difficult with change? Do you feel unprepared, a lack of control, uncertain of the outcome, fear of failure? Yes to all of those. The benefits of change: develop new skills, innovate and create, sharpen your competitive edge, underscore the value at stake. Change me. This is important. Change me. That's the only thing you can change. We can't change everything around us, but we can change me. It starts with me. Accept a reality. You must accept what is so I can accept what is next. Your mindset matters. The away mindset versus the toward mindset. So when we're in the away mindset, we're closed-minded, defensive, we miss things, we jump to conclusions, we are resistant, we protect ourselves, we build walls. If we're moving toward the concept or the mind, we're open-minded, we see potential. Resistance or resilience is a toward set of mindset. A picture response to what happens you're leading change. And there was a book by John Cotter. Here are some 4 leadership strategies that she talked about. Number 1, get the vision right. Get out of chaos. Get on the balcony. So if you think of yourselves, everything that is around us that is in chaos, whether it's school closings, sickness, COVID, shutdowns, all of that stuff, you're in the midst of the chaos. But if you get up to the balcony, or if you climb a mountain and you're on top of the situation and you're looking ahead, you can see where you're going. See it. That's the important thing. Get up on the balcony or the mountain and see where your vision is going. The power of mindset. We communicate, we buy in, we ask questions, we focus on solutions, not problems. Number 3, don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. Success is never promised. Create a culture of try. And she used the greenhouse concept where we plant flowers and plants and veggies and all of that. Some will take off, some will die. Be willing to try. If you don't open the greenhouse, you don't know what's going to happen or sprout. Let go of perfect. Man, did that hit home. Window of opportunity closes. So again, take advantage of what's happening. No shame, no blame. Think in new ways. One new idea. That's sometimes all it takes. Strategy number 4 was to create short-term wins and celebrate successes. Our words matter. We're on the right track. Keep saying that to your team. We're reinforcing direction. Look how far we've come. I'm so proud of us. It's a journey of mindset, one foot in front of the other. There are 4 change leadership strategies. Get the vision right, number 1. Communicate for buy-in. Number 3, empower action. Number 4, create short-term wins. How can you keep your team encouraged? Stay in the game, or you may have heard stay in line. Don't get out of line. Try it and see what happens. She gave us a website, and if you want to connect with her, and I think what I probably should do is put that in the comments. She was fabulous. We could do a whole section on what she had to say. Again, Elise Mitchell, and I'll put that in the comments. And I turned over to Stacey.
Hi. Thursday, we kicked off convention at 6:30, and we had wonderful crock-pot dinners, we had food, and we had complete desserts. And Dr. Tran was our main speaker. She talked to us about how she was about ready to close down her practice due to her physical and mental state. And she told us that one of her patients came in and was telling her about Juice Plus and that she was taking it. And she just kind of brushed her off, and she hears a lot of things. And at that visit, she had some test results ran. And when Dr. Tran got those results, she was amazed of what she was seeing. In fact, she had her come back in and take those results again. And so her results were so amazing that she then wanted to find out what this Juice Plus was about. And so Brenda and Carrie, they went and talked to Dr. Tran about Juice Plus, and she was amazed, and she started taking it herself, and now she recommends it to all her patients. And she was telling us about the patients that she has. When she recommends, they do so much better, and their markers are excellent. They're not as inflamed anymore. She's gotten a lot of people in remission. And then then for some reason they go off Juice Plus, and they're back in her office, inflamed, horrible, and it's like starting back to square one again. So I found that very amazing that Juice Plus is working so great in her patience. And that was about it.
Yay, thanks so much, Stacia. I'm going to take you guys on a quick little trip here. We're going to go out and see my tower garden. So I'm up for tower gardens, and it's amazing. We have a new guy that is the head of tower gardens, and he is super excited, and he has some challenges for us. So I'm going to tell you about these in a minute. But take a look at this, you guys. Look at my celery. Can you see? Okay. This is my celery and my rainbow chard, and I have some lavender and peppers growing, and it is the end of October in Indiana. Who can do that, you know? Like, I want to show you, and I don't know if you can see down here is my dirt garden, and nothing is growing in my dirt garden except my other tower garden that's sitting right next to it. And so it's exciting that we have such an amazing tool for people to be able to garden year-round. Pretty soon those tower gardens are going to be coming indoors, and who can garden with, you can grow with the extension like over 40 plants in a 3-foot area in your house and outside. And so it's so exciting. They were talking about 9 out of 10 Americans are gardening now. Guys, our market for this is incredible. People are longing to be in control of their food source, and especially in the climate of today, people are wanting to know where their food is coming from, and that they know that they can have fruits and vegetables and leafy greens available to them. And so this is super duper exciting. Some things that we're talking about with tower gardens is, as you're sharing tower gardens, don't be afraid, and this is something new for me because I've always said that the Flex, which is the unit that I have, it has a bigger 20-gallon tank. I always have marketed that's your outside tower and you can bring it in. And that the home, which is the smaller tank on the bottom, is only for indoors. Well, they're saying stop doing that. Home is fine outdoors and indoors, and it's a great option for people, just depending on how they want their tower garden to look. They're also talking about, be careful to not be like, it's like when we throw up with Juice Plus, right? And we want to tell everything. Be careful not to tell everything about tower garden. Just talk about 1 or 2 things that you love. So something that I always say is, oh my gosh, my tower garden waters itself. How cool is that? It's like dummy proof. And I always say, you don't have to be a gardener. I used to not be able to keep a houseplant alive. And Tower Garden has taught me how to garden and really enjoy all kinds of incredible foods that I never would have tried before, my family and I. So it's so exciting, guys. Something else that they talked about is just challenging us that what if each of us could sell one tower garden to a school, and how tower gardens in schools impact so many people. It's like exponential, right? Because you're impacting almost every kid in that school. Probably they're going to cycle through and be able to see it. And then you're impacting families. You're growing food for people. On the tower garden, it's amazing because it's at eye level for kids so they can see it. It's on wheels so it can go to different classrooms at all the time. It's an easy setup, easy maintenance. They have some really cool, neat tools that are being created. So now there will be a school presentation that's done for us. There are some teacher, just some sheets that they can say, like, this is what you need to check every week. This is the ongoing maintenance of a tower garden. This is what you need. So really super simple and easy. They've really done a fantastic job. And then I also love that Stephen Ritz just talked again just about how much tower gardens have impacted his community. He's a tower gardener and a teacher in the Bronx. If you're not familiar with him, check out Green Bronx Machine. But oh my gosh, guys, you will be fired up. This man and his community fed thousands of people daily on some occasions during COVID, because when they were not delivering in a total food desert in New York during COVID, he was growing food and giving it to people. So guys, it's just exciting, like all the options that we have with Tower Garden and the things that we can do with this is really beyond belief. So anyway, just to encourage you to keep going, keep sharing towers, be willing to just put some posts out there. And we're also given so many cool tools with social media, with Tower Gardens. They're creating more shareables, so that's really exciting. And then one last thing that I just wanted to share that I keep hearing from just the opportunity to hear all these amazing speakers from conferences, that this is a journey and to not despise our journey, but to move forward. And then the other thing that I wanted to share is this. This is what I have hanging in my office. It says, one day you will, can you see it? One day you will thank yourself for not giving up. And you guys, I've given up on this journey. Oh my gosh. And there were so many times that I wanted to give up and still I'm like, what am I doing? But this has been the most consistent, amazing culture, income, product that's provided us health and a future and a hope that a lot of people don't have. So keep going. We can do this together. Maxine, are you going next?
Let's see. You're muted, Maxine.
Or is it Tish? Tish, do you want to go up and give her some time?
Oh, Maxine's
Yes, I'm coming up.
good, good, good. Yay. Oh, you're muted again.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
So for me, this was my first time I've been on since I think it's going to be 2 months coming up shortly. And I guess like one of my biggest takeaways and being so close to my time of starting and getting to know everybody and just hearing people's stories. I think my biggest takeaway was you can be successful and thrive in this business in a virtual world. Like today, everything's so virtual, everything's on the tip of your fingers. And just hearing some of the stories of the women, and I know a couple of you mentioned Priscilla. I was very impressed by her. And I guess for me, and I know we had a brief discussion while we were in Karen's house about Priscilla and women of color. And one of the things that I've noticed, at least for the Hispanic community, is that a lot of people, even here in Indianapolis, a lot of people, like the business owners and the business community has grown a lot. But not every business is virtual. And this is something that, for me at least, having connections in Mexico and having family and learning about the opportunity and Mexico opening up an office, to me is just, especially with my personal situation right now, I'm actually, and we mentioned this in Aaron's house the other day, I actually had lost my employment not too long ago, but maybe about a month ago or so. And I really saw this as an opportunity. I had actually also opened up my own business. And in the painting, commercial and residential business. And when I saw this and just the flexibility and being able to do this from your laptop anywhere, to me is just an incredible opportunity. I've actually, right after I left Karen's house, I called some of my cousins in Mexico. And they're like, hey, I called them up and I said, I want to set up a call with you guys. I just started up another business. So they're like, what are you doing? But they're really excited to learn about it too. And I think that just me being able to have some support with family down in Mexico, I think it's going to help me a lot. But I was very impressed by her. And I'm hoping that, like, even here in Indianapolis, just learning about it and having the first national marketing director, one of the women that was, I can't remember her name, I can't recall her name, but just like hearing her and really knowing that there's an untapped market for Juice Plus here in Indianapolis, I think it's a great opportunity. So I'm very excited about that. I actually, I was talking to Tish and Aaron about having an event this upcoming month, and I'm already working on that. So, but yeah, I guess that's my biggest takeaway with Brazil, like her being, like connecting with people from other countries. She probably has never met them in person. So that to me was very eye-opening. And I think if she can do it, like many of us can do it. So I'm very excited about that.
Right. Thank you so much, Maxine. We love having you.
Hey, that's a great segue to my topic on the Latino business with Juice Plus. So just as Precious was talking about how excited she was to see, women of color, I've always been excited to see the group from Puerto Rico because they've always been with us, right? And they speak my second language. And I'm so happy to have Maxine with us. Because this girl is a ball of fire, man. She's a rock and roller. She's got a group of people that are great followers. She's very well respected with the Latino community here in Indianapolis. But let me tell you some of the statistics that came up that I have heard. That obviously this is not just for people who speak Spanish, because Laura Morelos, who is the director of the U.S. Hispanic market, had two speakers, guest speakers, NMD. She had Tony Branner and Dr. Wanda Chadwick. But her point with it in terms of statistics was phenomenal. So we have over 63 million Hispanics in the US. Their spending power, drum roll here, which some of you may have already heard this, is 2.6 trillion. 2.6 trillion. Yes, that is amazing. 67% of the US Hispanics are from Mexican origin, which means 42 million, and 64% of them are bilingual. Their median age for Latinos is 29.8. I think Maxine heard it's a little younger, so there may be other stats out there. But a real common thread, and by the way, Mexico, the corporate office, they have had events. They are floating everywhere in Mexico. They've been to different, they were conducting different city tours. So we can have Laura Morelos here anytime, but they're in Mexico. They had city tours in Cancun, Saltillo, Monterrey, which is where my mother's from, Guadalajara and Reynosa. So they're doing a lot of things there. But a common thread, as I heard throughout all of this, but mostly here with the Latinos, is that they're trying to build trust. They're also educating people, because unfortunately Latinos have 66% greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes, which is higher with obesity too. Most of you may know this already, but I mean, this is just phenomenal in terms of the buying power, which Latinos now are the second largest buying power in the US. And so they're all also very much obviously on the radar for Fortune 500 companies. And as I said, there's a great buying power. What I loved about the two speakers, just going back to the speakers that Laura had, was one, Tony Branner. She's a president marketing director. She doesn't speak the language. So she just reached out to a friend who was born in Mexico and is a Christian minister, I believe. And she just reached out to them and started networking through them, through people in Mexico. And that's how she built her business. Sorry, I've got my dog coming in and out of the house here, and now I have my husband coming in and out of the house. Anyway, so they are on fire there. They are really building the corporate office. They are motivating people. They obviously motivated me.
And I'm sure you as well, Metzine. And we're just ready to go. We're ready to lock arms with people from all over there in Mexico, as well as any Spanish-speaking people. And I am so excited about the fact that we've got all our training material as well at our fingertips in Spanish. We've got videos, we've got it all. We have no excuse to reach out to the Hispanic community, whether you speak Spanish or not. So I'll just end it there. I have a lot more to say, but I'll cut it now because I know we're way over the hour here.
Thank you so much, Tish. That was really cool. Thank you so much to everybody. And I'm going to wrap it up really quick. Okay. I think you guys have all heard just fresh vision, all ages, just joy and excitement of being together. One of the things I did want to share, I so appreciate when Precious was talking about the Perform Shakes. Today on Here's to Your Health on our customer page, I made a post about it, and I said that they're not going to, just talking about what's in there, and that to get back to the person who invited them to that chat so that you can start compiling a list of people that will get it in December. So anybody that you have in there, we really need to camp on that. And the other quick story was one of the new NMDs showed Juice Plus to her father-in-law, who is a surgeon. And he was like, well, wait a minute, let me guess. Do you have any gold standard, double-blind, placebo-based studies? And she goes, well, actually we do, because he thought he was going to get her with that one. And so she said, I want you to look at it. You're the expert. And he came back and he said, do you know what you have? Do you know how everybody in the world needs this? It was really exciting. And I think it was just fresh inspiration. So thank you all. Everybody did a fabulous job. And I mean, we have so much to look forward to, so many exciting things. So let's just get out there and do it. So bless you all for being on today. It was a great call. Thank you.
Thank you.